Hello, my name is Luby, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time we went through Act 1 a bit, and we're heading towards the route of a mystery girl. You totally don't know who it is. Don't even try to say that you know who it is. Anyway, let's see if we can skip this. Yep. Here's Kenji. Oh, I wonder, I'm kinda hungry, but I made this deal that I try to take better care of myself. Be healthier, you know? Don't know if I should steer clear of the takoyaki or head straight in.
Deal? Sounds ominous. So what are you getting in return?
Nothing, I guess? It's not that kind of a deal. You know Emmy, from our year, we kinda agreed to watch each other's backs, and
Aye!
the shrill scream and the expression of abject terror in Kenji's face chill my blood. It's as if I told a Catholic priest I sold my soul to the devil.
Her! You sold your soul to the devil and didn't get anything in return? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Do you know you're dealing with? She's a public health danger. Do you know how many people she sends to the hospital monthly with her carefully placed flying tackles?
So I'm guessing this is the equivalent of, Kenji earlier saying that Lily was a part of the Mafia or something.
She's one of them, a key player in the vast conspiracy that aims for the complete submission of everything that is manly. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I trust in your judgment, man. I thought we were brothers. You have to call it off before it's too late. It's festival too. Just one of their ploys.
He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster than he's trying to start a fire, and slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course.
I'm gonna find some place to hide in, safe haven, and then knock the lights out of myself so I don't have to experience this horrible day. I have the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. Don't go to the festival.
Okay.
Later, dude.
The door slowly closes with a low creak, and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. It's kind of unsettling, and now I start to feel doubtful myself. Should I bother going? I've got a book I've been meaning to read. Something about an underground postal system that may or may not exist. It's short too, I could have finished it in a day. But would that be a good way to spend my time? Well, yeah, it definitely would be. I suppose that'd probably be a better idea to head outside. See the festival. Try to integrate with all the other sideshow acts. Honestly, I should at least make an attempt to keep up this somewhat friendly personality I've had the past week. Maybe get something to eat, my stomach suggests. It's almost lunchtime. I could at least grab something from one of the stalls outside. Now, is this skippable? No, it's not. Alright. I'm soon outside, surrounded by various students and people who may or may not be their parents. Every so often, I catch a glimpse of someone who clearly just came up from town for the promise of a festival. They're easy to spot. The ones you can't stop staring, and behind their eyes you can tell they're thinking, now what's wrong with this one? I almost want to yell at them, but at the same time, can I deny that I've been doing the same thing all week? A wave of something like disgust sweeps over me. Guilt for my own narrow-mindedness. You see, he's developing. He's developing. We're still in Act 1, he gets better. I push the thoughts aside, concentrating on the pangs of hunger that burn my guts like a wildfire. The scent of something fried leads me to the promised land, where I can get some lunch. I'm just getting my order when a loud voice interrupts me.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Having lunch.
Breakfast? You mean you just got up?
Suddenly sleeping all morning feels like a crime. No, I meant lunch, honest. She's not buying it. Brunch.
That's not a healthy breakfast at all.
She touches my food in my hand and glares at me. What the hell is this girl doing?
Hey, that's my breakfast. What happened to it being your lunch?
That's my, whatever, it's my food. Amy places her hands on her hips and begins lecturing me. Look at that, it's right there.
Did you really forget your dietary plan already? You need to be more conscious of your health, Isao. What's your heart?
My heart's fine the way it is. Mostly. All I get in response is a roll of the eyes.
I doubt that. You wouldn't be here if that was the case, would ya?
The girl's got a point, of course. But I'm not about to concede it. It's not that bad of a heart. Certainly can handle a little grease now and then. Yeah, sure, and I handle a little running just fine too. Emmy seems unconvinced. Not surprising, as I haven't even managed to convince myself.
Maybe, but not if you're sleeping a day away all the time.
A devious look suddenly crosses her face.
Of course, if you'd been following your routine from the beginning, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Hey, I've had a pretty eventful week, you know. For example, I almost died. And there was a lot of meeting people, and then I was on the roof for a while.
Which is no excuse for sucking off, you know. A little near-death experience is no excuse for skipping basic exercise. Like running in the mornings.
She nods as if something important has just been decided.
So it's settled then. You've seen the error of your ways and are willing to adhere to my routine, right? I'll see you bright and early in the morning. We'll be running buddies.
You know, you'd already convinced me yesterday this was a good idea. You don't need to convince me again. Not that I did a good job of being convinced. She's right about eating healthy after all, and here I am ordering up something grossly unhealthy. I think, like, fried, like, carnival festival food is, like, the most unhealthy thing you can eat. Because oh god, yeah, I've been to, like, carnivals near me, and just, like, fried, just a bunch of fried stuff. The worst stuff you could fry. Fried, like, donuts, fried sticks of butter, and they just give them to you, and you can eat them. I don't know how that's possible. But delicious. There are more important things than deliciousness, aren't there? Like, staying alive? If Emmy weren't here browbeating me for my poor decisions, I'd probably... Hey, wait a second. A sudden question springs to mind. Hey, why the hell have you taken such an interest in my well-being? Why has Hisao said hell so much more in like past 2 episodes? Emmy shrugs and grins at me.
You're the new guy. I figure you don't have any friends yet, right? Besides, of course you had trouble all week, right? I owe you for not getting angry. And I told the nurse I would anyway.
Crazy little running girl wants to make me healthy. Well, I suppose there are worse fates. Okay, that sounds fine. Thanks for your concern. Tomorrow morning, then. I figure that ends the conversation, so I turn to leave.
Not so fast.
I feel a hand on my collar, and in a second, I've been yanked backwards.
Hey, no need to be so rough.
What do you want now? Emmy looks almost wounded by my annoyed question.
Thought you could use the company.
Her eyes narrow.
Besides, you're just gonna try sneaking some more of that fried crap, weren't you? Crap.
Well, I wasn't going to, but now that she mentions it, that would have been a really good idea. I was not. Another glare. Okay, maybe I was gonna get a little. Okay, a lot. Jesus, I'm a danger to myself and others, aren't I? I get done agreeing that I need to be healthier, and then immediately start considering the next unhealthy habit that comes my way.
I knew it. You can't be trusted. Now I definitely have to stick with you.
This whole situation feels silly. I can only imagine what passersby think of the sight of me being lectured by a tiny girl half my size. Maybe I should just give up for now. Fine, do what you like. I sigh. Might as well make the best of this. What do you want to do? Emmy thinks for a minute.
Well, I promised Rin I'd stop by your mural, so let's do that.
I confess I'm slightly curious as to how her mural turned out myself, so again I consider there are worse fates. I give a nod of assent and find myself almost dragged bodily through the crowd as Emmy races to our destination. By the time we reach the dorms, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart shouldn't be pounding after just that. Took a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down. I'm one of the most normal-looking people in the school, but I still have to be here. Sometimes I almost wish I'd lost a hand or something. At least then it'd be obvious that I belong. But instead, I don't even look sick. Even now, trying to catch my breath, I just look out of shape. Amy looks back and notices my state of distress.
You're not gonna die on me, are you? Please don't. It'll be all my fault, and I don't want to deal with that kind of guilt. Besides, at the last time, I don't really think I need to see that again. Especially besides the nurse will totally say it's not my fault.
Nah, I'm fine. Guess I need to start running after all.
And you wanted to keep eating your greasy, whatever it was. See, it's a good thing I found you, right?
Yes, it was. Maybe. Of course I don't add that. I don't add that I wouldn't be in this state if she hadn't dragged me across the festival grounds. Where the conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Rin.
Oh, it's you.
Hello, Emmy.
Hey, Rin, I brought Hisao along because she was going to give himself a heart attack.
I was not. My objection goes unnoticed.
We stopped by to see how the mural turned out.
Rin nods slowly. Well, it's, right there. You can see it pretty clearly. I find myself wondering how long Rin's been standing here in front of the mural. Has anyone even stopped by to look at it? Are we the first ones? Obviously, we're not the first to see it, of course. I mean, it's pretty big. You'd be hard-pressed not to see it. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rin about it. Anyone but us, that is. I feel compelled to say something. It looks pretty good. I'm still not happy with how it turned out. But, I guess it'll do. She seems almost resigned to it. I'm not sure what she expected as a result, but I guess she didn't quite get there. We stand in front of the mural, taking it all in. I try my best to concentrate on the composition of the thing. It's actually fairly interesting. The colors swoop and blend together, dragging me along with them. There's a dreamlike quality to the whole thing that makes me feel almost sleepy. I try hunting down some of the colors Emmy and I grabbed for her. Try as I might, I can't see any Prussian blue. Oh well, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. My feet start to hurt, but Rin doesn't seem inclined to move on. Emmy speaks up. Hey, Rin, have you eaten? Of course, you can't survive otherwise. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe, but I'm hungry again, so maybe that means I'm wrong. Emmy grins and claps her hands together. Good! Come get some food with us! Rin nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they care, whoever they are. As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a longing eye over the fried food. No, I'd better not. I'm pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me anyway. We find a nice spot on the grass and sit down to eat our purchases. Well, my purchase anyway. Somehow I've wound up paying for all the food. Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat and Rin stares at something or other, occasionally eating a bite or two of the food. I finish my meal first and lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired, Hisao? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We start our morning runs, remember? Actually, that slipped my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. God forbid. I don't think God comes into it. Unless there's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock shorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't cause any random acts of God, then. A plan forms itself in my mind. It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. Damn it, I've earned a little fried food. Anyway, I'm gonna start running tomorrow, right? So the actual routine all starts then, not now. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. A sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with wild abandon before the hospital. Actually, I suppose I should head back to my room. I had some homework to do, and if I'm gonna run in the morning, I should make it an early night. Those narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not just gonna sneak off and buy some of that fried stuff over there? Nah, I'm too full to bother now. I pat my stomach for emphasis. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. Emmy giggles. It's a surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's got to know that I'm lying to her, doesn't she? Or is she just that trusting? I feel kind of like a monster. All part of my master plan, Hisao. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food and for keeping us company. And here I thought she was doing me a favor. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say see you tomorrow because that'd be like predicting the future, and I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Okay. Bye, you two. I feel oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm sure I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline for the food stands and buy some cake. At least it's not fried, right? That's slightly better than I was planning to do. I still feel a little bad about lying to Emmy, though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. My book waits for me, and I flop onto my bed and read through the fireworks display. Eventually, all the walking around, or more accurately, running around, catches up with me. I really am out of shape. Emmy dragging me out in the morning to run might just be a good thing after all. It's something to look forward to. That's really cute. Hey guys, I wonder whose route we're doing. Alright, okay, so now I can officially say, instead of blurting it out, we're doing Emmy's route. Yay! That was a total surprise, and you did not guess that. But yeah, okay. Now we're in Act 2. We're finally out of all the Act 1 skip mode stuff. So now the story really starts. My alarm's beeping shadows the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. Class is still quite far off, but I did agree to run with Emmy in the mornings. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby, or even as a possible life-lengthening exercise. However, I feel obligated to follow through my promise to Emmy yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shorts and a light t-shirt. The cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew on the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. As I make my way down to the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What if this is some sort of joke that Emmy's playing on me? Would that surprise me, really? Hell, I'd probably do it to the new guy, too. At the very least, I'm sure Emmy and Rin made a bet on whether or not I'd actually show up. I feel a sense of trepidation as the track comes into view.
You're late!
It would seem that Emmy is already there. What a relief. Not according to my watch. We both are early, in fact.
Damn, you got me there.
Emmy is sitting on the bleachers, decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're actually here. I was afraid this was a joke or something.
Nah, I'd never make someone get up early for nothing. Plus, Rin owes me 500 yen now. She didn't think you'd actually show up.
I knew it! Nice to know Emmy was on my side at least. Emmy hops off of the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably lithe, almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, but then realized that I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything, if you don't count my one stint in running last week. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. The specter of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say I was all that active before the hospital stay though, so maybe I'm just being morose. Emmy giggles as you're watching me stretch. Oh god no, the burps are back. How can you do this to me, body?
No, Sao, you gotta hold it for longer than that.
I'm trying. It kinda hurts a little.
Ha, that's because you're out of shape. You got some flexibility in you like this.
To demonstrate, Emmy reaches down and puts her head through her legs. God bless you, Emmy. I see. That's the sort of thing I should strive for.
Of course, flexibility is important for any runner. You're able to go faster the more you stretch out.
That makes no sense to me, but Emmy seems to believe it's true. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I can't help but notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable.
Not bad, Sao. Come on, you better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? That's 4 laps around the track. Got it?
That sounds fine to me. This shouldn't be too hard, right? A hazy memory of running a mile for gym class surfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Emmy sets a pretty good pace, and I fall in behind her.
Try to keep up, okay? Sao?
Roger. He ran the first curve without incident, though I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. By the second curve, I started to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. This is a punctuator superiority. She turns around and starts running backwards.
Are you doing okay, Sao?
Never. Better.
Oh, really? Maybe we should speed up then,
Oh, no. Wouldn't want you to overexert yourself. My heavy panting and wheezing makes the statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emmy simply smiles and turns around again.
You're the boss, Sao. We'll stay at this pace.
I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't in such a terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. The third lap, my breath is coming in ragged gasps. I'm also washing my own sweat. Gross. We round the curve to start our fourth lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin.
Here we go.
She takes off at blinding speed while I stubbornly stick to my slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already running the second. I struggle back across the back stretch, and Emmy continues running and catches up to me.
Come on, Sao, you can do it.
I'd answer her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs and ignoring the burning in my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps pace with me as I round the second turn and cross the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It's actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears a... Hisao last time, in Lily's route, it took a little... No, it didn't. I just realized, no, it didn't. He was talking about her curvy body in the pajamas for a long time. It seems she wears a black sports bra. I feel a vague stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at a girl's chest, but my legs and chest are burning so badly I can't bring myself to care that much. Not bad for a first effort, Hisao. God, kind of you to say so. Emmy seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before we started running. Must have been the sprint that did it. Hey, I've got to get a few sprints in. Just walk around the track to cool down. Then we'll stretch out and we'll be all done, okay? Sounds great. My legs are on fire and my breathing is still heavy. But surprisingly, my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. You should put your hands behind your head. It's easier to catch your breath. Surprisingly, she's right. I'm gonna stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. Whoa! There's a blur as Emmy sprints by me. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, though that is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I can only catch glimpses of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. It's as if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track. By the time we've gotten to the final stretch, Emmy seems to have finished her sprinting. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves to me cheerily as I near her. Feeling better, right? Actually, yeah. Do you want to take another lap around with me? I gotta cool down too, you know. Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that would be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there may be no getting back up again. Sure, why not? Emmy's got her hands behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her shirt upwards ever so slightly so I can see a small strip of her belly. I do my best to act the gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red running shorts is rather arresting. So, how do you feel, Hisao? Surprisingly good, actually. I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. Yeah, that is exercise. As soon as I say it, I realize that it's true. Sure, part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I've accomplished something. It's almost like a glow through my body that persists despite the soreness. Yeah, that's runner's high. Runner's high? Yeah, it has something to do with, adrenaline? Emmy thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. Then she shrugs and grins at me. I don't actually remember. It's a good feeling, though, isn't it? Better than... Okay. Better than sex, right? I opened my mouth to respond shortly before processing what she's just said. Emmy watches my face for a few minutes before bursting into laughter. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You're just too easy. Why did I agree to run with you again? Emmy just laughs harder. She takes a hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing me to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time. Oh, no, we better get a move on, Hisao. Class is in an hour and I need a shower. I should probably do that as well. I need to see the nurse too. Maybe write me a note for being late. Why do you need to see the nurse? Emmy points to her prosthetics, as if that would explain everything. It's important to check for irritation. You know, from sweat or friction or anything. Normally I only go after practice, but if we're gonna be doing these morning runs then, I guess I'll see him twice a day. Wait, so Emmy has only started doing these runs since I showed up? If it's more convenient for you to run with me at a later time... Don't be silly! I've been meaning to start running in the morning for a while now. But if I didn't have a partner to run with, I'd be less likely to keep up a routine. It's always harder to blow up a commitment if you're gonna let someone else down, you know? So you'll be my running partner for the mornings. We both need to exercise, so it all works out, don't you think? Yeah, perfect. Did it have to be me, though? Well, I guess I can't complain too much. Emmy's pretty fun to hang out with. And she's right, I do need the exercise. Doctor's orders, even. Emmy waves a quick goodbye to me. Right, I'm off. Come have lunch with us, okay? What? Lunch! You know, the meal? In the middle of the day? Come have it with us. Where? The rooftop. Green likes it up there. When? At lunchtime! When else? Silly question. Yeah, but I sort of felt the need to ask all three for completeness sake. Emmy laughs and grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Not bad, Hisao. See ya! With that, she takes off like a shot for the school building. I guess she's gonna see the nurse first. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find the water takes a while to heat up. The shock of the cold water nearly kills me. I managed to warm the water a bit and spent some quality time feeling my muscles loosen. My heart, surprisingly, feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose it's a good thing, even if it does make me feel like a bit of a wuss. I mean, at least I have an excuse beyond I am out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I'll have to keep this running thing up, otherwise I'm sure Emmy won't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get off and dry myself that I realize that I have only 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap. The hands on the clock finally set me free from the tedium of yet another fun-filled class. Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated, though. My legs are killing me from the morning run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the run's giving me a hell of an appetite. I'm halfway down the hallway to the cafeteria when I remember that I've got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me some prepackaged stuff when I moved in, and a good thing too. The hallway is packed with students headed for the cafeteria. Going back is like swimming upstream. I've got an appointment to keep on the rooftop. It takes me a moment to find the staircase leading up to the roof, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Rin aren't up there by now anyway. In fact, I think I saw Emmy along the bodies in the hallway headed for the cafeteria. I step out the doors of the roof and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less. Maybe if I'm upside down. Part of me wants to be surprised that Rin's already up here. What's that going to accomplish? Things in the clouds. Couldn't you just look at them right side up? Rin rolls her eyes in something approaching exasperation. Then I wouldn't get a new perspective. Is upside down really a new perspective? Aha! That got her off guard. Rin looks pensive. You may have a point. Maybe sideways. As Rin lays down on the bench to look at the sky, I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses that moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She nearly takes the door off the hinges.
Sorry it took me so long. There's a ton of people in line.
She drops the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. You buy Rin's lunch for her?
Sometimes, yeah. I never buy my lunch for me in return, but I'm not sure I should carry it.
Plus, I'd never buy her lunch. If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs.
How ungrateful of you.
I'm not sure whether the two are joking with one another, or if I'm witnessing the beginnings of a catfight. The 2 girls stare at one another for a few tense moments before breaking into smiles. I don't think I've ever seen this Rin sprite before. Cool. Hey, Emmy, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on things? Didn't I already have this conversation? Emmy looks thoughtful, apparently giving the question some thought. After a deep and profound pause, she speaks. I have no idea. Well, at least she's lost as I am.
Hey, Sal, you need the track meet, right?
The question comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. I don't know yet.
Honestly, Sal, after I went through all the trouble of letting you run with me in the morning, you won't even show up to my track meet?
Wasn't she the one that asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice in the matter. Wait, no, I didn't say that. She beams at me as if I just agreed to give her $1 million.
So you will come after all, that's great.
I didn't say that either. I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes, Emmy.
Good idea, Rin. Making some food or something after the meet's over.
I feel like I've just been conned, but not by these two. More like by some outside force, pushing me irrevocably toward my destiny. Irrevocably towards my destiny. Or maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily. Otherwise, I might wind up sounding like Kenji. Still, I suppose that I've got to show up now. I don't think I could stand both of them being disappointed. I'd never hear the end of it. When is it again?
Next week, silly. This will be a few days ago.
No you didn't.
I forgot? Well, you won't forget to come though, will ya?
Of course I won't. I even make a note on my calendar or something. Rin nods sagely. That's probably a good idea, you know. Unless time changes its course.
It can do that?
Rin gives a non-committal shrug. It hasn't yet, but you never know. This time it's Emmy who gives a shrug.
I suppose it can be helped if that happens.
Not unless you're a time traveler or something. You don't actually think that could happen, do you?
I don't think we do. Do we?
Rin shrugs again. That seems to be your default response to everything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion at a moment's notice. For Rin, this statement makes a disturbing amount of sense. The fact that I realize this now frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she doesn't, if she does, she's not showing it though. Emmy merely nods.
As expected.
What's that supposed to mean? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. It's like she's using Rin's own weapons against her.
Your response is the sort of thing I expect from you, that's all.
Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating.
Nah, it's just your unpredictability. It's just the
Nah, it's just the unpredictability. I cannot pronounce unpredictability.
Nah, it's just the unpredictability. It's pretty predictable.
Well, that's alright then. I didn't get the chance to see whether Rin's being serious or not as the bell rings. I didn't notice the lunch period slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two was far too interesting. Emmy jumps up, a look of panic on her face.
Oh no! I need some of my room to pick up my notebook for the next class.
Don't you wish you had a time machine now? Rin seems rather smug as she delivers this line, like she just won an argument. Emmy ignores Rin's comment.
Sorry, Asao, but can you make sure garbage gets thrown away? I usually clean up myself, but I gotta run.
Sure, no problem. Emmy darts away with an urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She already seems to be preoccupied with something else entirely as she wanders off. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of cleanup, and for some reason, I doubt Emmy's ever raised the issue with her. Cleaning up from lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss her garbage and get to class. Misha greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Hold on, I need to drink some water to prepare for Misha showing up and talking. Ah. Okay.
Didn't see you in the cafeteria, Hichan!
Yeah, I just said it was too crowded there. Misha's grin gets even wider.
Oh, really? Are you sure you can participate in an illicit rendezvous?
What are you talking about?
You're on the roof, right? With both Rin and Emmy, no less. You Casanova, you.
We just had lunch, that's all. Misha bursts into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates.
Wow! You're so adorable when you blush like that, Hichan.
She gives me a conspiratorial wink.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
There's no secret.
Oh?
Misha seems disappointed and then brightens up again.
Time will tell.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly our teacher comes in and the class starts. Sure you don't know what she's talking about, me. Sure you don't know what she's talking about, Hisao. You totally know. Another day of classes finally dragged itself to a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. It knows this is what it eats, but it's not sure that it should be ordering. But it's not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. I don't think I can take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now let's see. What was I supposed to be looking over again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through my math homework, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my options for distractions are rather slim. Not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is, unusually, out of his room at the moment. If I go to the student council room, I'll just end up doing work for those two. And heaven only knows where everyone else is, except for... well, I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emmy's probably down there. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gone that late already?
What are you doing down here, Asao? Come to spy on me, have you?
I give a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. Lots of shrugs this episode. I didn't have anything better to do. I figure that's about right. At the moment, Emmy's the only person I can think of who I could visit.
So I'm your last resort, am I? Nobody cool around, so I'll just go see Emmy. Is that what you thought?
She actually looks angry. A chance for some teasing of my own presents itself. Actually, yeah, I guess you are. Emmy pouts, widening her eyes to give the maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding! I was kidding.
So you are down here to stalk me?
Wait, what? That's not what I meant. Why'd I stalk you anyway? It's not like it requires stalking. If you're not asleep or in class, you're down here, right? Emmy laughs at this comment.
Well, you're not all wrong, I suppose. But you forgot about eating. I do that too, you know.
I nod, ceding the point.
Plus, I hang out with Rin sometimes too, so really I might take some effort to stalk.
What do you two do together anyway? You don't seem to have a lot in common. She puts her hands on her hips and assumes a superior air.
That's what you think. We're all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know.
Oh, really? Like what? Emmy puts her head to one side as she's trying to remember what it is she does in her free time.
Well, Rin and I go out shopping sometimes.
I guess that makes sense. Emmy's a girl after all. But Rin? Rin comes with you? We usually swing by the art supply store. Plus, she likes this music store that sells all kind of weird sounding stuff. She says it helps focus her. That makes a little more sense. I see. Any other hidden hobbies? Emmy wags a finger at me. Now, why would I go and reveal my dark secrets to you? You hardly know one another. Somehow I think that's all that Emmy has in the way of hobbies. Still, I don't think my question's been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I still don't see why you hang out with Rin so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? Kasao, I'm telling you again, shut up. Okay. Look, at this point you're doing two things wrong. One, you're kind of insulting Rin right now. Weird doesn't necessarily mean an insult, but in this case it definitely means one. And secondly, you're saying it in front of her best friend. This is not something you do, my man. This comment causes Emmy to laugh loudly. Okay, never mind, you're fine, dude.
That's the understatement of the year.
So, why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figured you'd hang it out with a lot of people, but I think I've only ever seen you with Rin. Emmy seems unusually defensive.
Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Rin. You don't see me doing it because I'm not in classes.
Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Rin. I'm not even sure why I want to know this. I guess it's because lunch is so strange. Emmy shrugs, looking for a moment very Rinish.
It's, because we have very similar outlooks.
If you were to ask me the least likely answer to the question, that'd be it. What do you mean?
It's like, okay, Rin paints and stuff, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure where this is going.
Well, I run.
And
That's where we're similar.
you lost me. Emmy frowns as if trying to figure out her answer.
Well, maybe it's we do things for the same reasons.
Huh?
You know, we follow our passions.
So you're passionate about running and Rin's passionate about art. Is that it?
Well, sorta. Let me think. Well, Rin explained it to me once, but I don't know how much of it I followed.
Not surprising. I think any explanation from Win would probably confuse anyone.
She says we, both chase after an extreme. Like, she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because of the feeling I get from it. And since we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, make a connection based on that.
What do you mean, slowed down by anything? Emmy looks surprised and points to her legs.
You know, because I'm a runner, and Rin's a painter, even without arms. So we respect each other's determination. And that's why we hang out. I think.
Well, I'm not sure that made any sense to me, but from Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not sure about it either.
Honestly, it's nothing to think about much. Just get along, and think that's really all that matters.
I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I ask it. So, what got you so into running anyway?
Oh, I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner, so as soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. It was our father-daughter thing, you know? Our own mutual hobby.
A shadow crosses her face, and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. Did something happen between them?
Man, I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I gotta get a few more laps in before I go see the nurse.
She races off around the track, hair streaming in the wind. Seems to me she's going a lot faster than she was this morning. As she rounds the track, I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was this morning, but her eyes seem to have taken on a harsher edge. I guess she's right. I don't really know much about her. I watch her run for a little while and then stand up to head back to my room.
Hey!
She spots me leaving and waves to catch my attention.
Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning, got it?
Got it. I head back to my room. Homework beckons. I can't sleep. My body's tired, but my mind is kept awake, staring at the ceiling in the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp desperately for a thread of thought, hoping that I can run my brain into the ground. All I can think of is how I can't think of anything. This isn't productive at all. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not as used to my new surroundings as I'd like to think. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I'm awake and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked, it was only 1, so maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I throw on some clothes and head out of my room. A walk might do me some good. I'm surprised at how chill the air is compared to the relative warmth of the day. You can almost see my breath as I wander the campus, waiting for the sun to come up or for me. Waiting for the sun to come up or for me to fall asleep. At this point, either option works for me. I find myself at the track, where for the first time, Emmy's not out running. I suppose that makes sense. It's too early, even for her. The bleacher seats are cold, but at this point, I welcome the sensation. The sun is starting to show its face over the horizon, and I know with an awful certainty that I'll get no more sleep tonight. The sun's steadily strengthening rays start to warm me up, and I watch the dew on the ground begin to steam slightly. My mind calms down, a little. Isao sleeping on the bench! Oh, yeah, he totally did. Someone's shaking me. Hey, wake up! Huh? I guess I fell asleep after all.
What are you doing out here? You're gonna catch a cold or something.
I rub my eyes and am confronted by Emmy, who bends over me with a worried expression. I'm still a little groggy, so my response comes out in a mumble. Couldn't sleep. Watch the sun come up.
Sounds like something Rin would say.
I shrug, feeling the stiffness that comes with sleeping on a bench for a few hours. Is it? I wouldn't know. Emmy grins a little at my somewhat cranky response.
So, couldn't sleep, eh? Obviously need to run you harder today.
Even though I've only known her for about a week, this seems a very Emmy-ish response to the problem. Hey, my body was plenty exhausted after yesterday. My mind was just racing, that's all.
I don't see the difference. If you run hard enough, your brain will get tired too.
I'm seriously questioning the wisdom of doing this first thing in the morning. I don't know if my grades will be able to handle me tiring my brain out like that. Emmy pulls me up from the bleachers with surprising strength for someone her size.
Now come on, Isao, you got work to do.
I don't actually know if I'm up to this today, to be honest. I mean, I obviously didn't get much sleep, and what sleep I got was on the bleachers. I don't know. Should I really be running? Emmy glares at me. Good heavens.
What are you talking about? Of course you'll be running. Unless you expect to work out the kinks. I mean, sleeping on the bleachers for heaven's sake. Best way to get that soreness out is to run around a little. Or stop hiding in the bleachers and get down here.
There's no arguing that. I'm pretty sure she'd kill me if I didn't do what she said. I get to my feet and hop down to the track. The sun is warming things up rather nicely, I think. Emmy and I begin to stretch out, and I find myself once again hard-pressed not to stare. If this is how I have to wake up every day, I might be able to get used to this.
You know, Isao, it's not like to stare.
I wasn't staring, I swear. Emmy raises an eyebrow and considers me for a minute, as if evaluating my response. There's a brief moment where I'm afraid for my life. But then she smiles and laughs, shaking her head slowly.
Honestly, you don't have to deny it so strenuously.
In response, I clap my hands together and go for a change of subject. So, that's enough stretching, right? Amy gives a casual shrug.
Do you feel stretched? That's really how you tell.
Well, I do feel up to the run, if that's what she means. Yeah, I feel ready to go.
Same as yesterday, okay? We'll just run for a mile at a steady pace. Don't worry about going really fast. Just worry about keeping the pace. Got it?
You're the boss. Emmy grins again, and we take off around the track. ... I think I'm going to die. We're not even done with the first lap and my legs are on fire. My breath is coming in ragged gasps. I can feel sweat pouring down my brow, but we've only just now rounded the second turn.
Come on, Isao, you got 3 more laps to do.
I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I think I might hurl. Somewhere on the second lap. Emmy's not even sweating. How can she do this so effortlessly? For some reason, I'm still moving. Just like a machine. Third lap. What happened to the second?
Almost there, Isao.
Liar, we've got another 2. Nothing to be done. I can't do this. Emmy whirls around and begins running backwards. Her face is a mask of anger that surprises me.
Never say that. If you say that, you'll already lost. Keep moving. If you're alive, you can keep moving, damn it.
Whoa, language. We're on the 4th lap now. She really seems to want me to keep going. Legs, move, move, move. They feel so sluggish. I'm in mud or molasses or tar. I can't go on. I'll go on.
Final stretch, Isao. Give it all you got.
I pump my legs as fast as they go. They keep refusing to obey my commands. Somehow I keep moving, and somehow I finish.
That's it, Isao. I knew you had it in you.
The anger Emmy showed a lap ago is gone, replaced with pride. She's positively radiant. She just won the gold medal or something. I stagger to a stop and fall to my hands and knees, gasping for air. My heart is pounding far harder than it has in a long time. I don't think it's done this since... Oh God. Please slow down, heart. Just slow down. Stop racing. I cough, and for some reason feel a grin crossing my face. So this is how I die, huh? Trying to stay healthy? How ironic. I'm all ready to give up right there. But then I feel my heart slow down. Two hands grab under my arms and tug upwards. I look up and see Emmy standing over me, with a mixture of delight and worry.
On your feet! Come on, you'll never catch your breath that way.
Somehow I manage to stand. I try to raise my arms above my head, but they feel like lead. I start to walk around the track while Emmy keeps close to me. She's afraid I'll fall over or something. She may not be far off. I feel terrible and say so. Emmy laughs.
But you finished, didn't you? You said you couldn't, but you did. Isn't that worth it?
I'm not sure, and I don't really have the breath to say so. But that small grin I felt on my face earlier hasn't left. So what if my heart's weak? I still survived this morning. Maybe I'll survive tomorrow too. As soon as it becomes apparent that I'm not going to suddenly keel over, Emmy takes off on her sprints. I don't know how the hell she can manage to sprint after running a mile, but I guess she's in much better shape than me. Once again, as I walk around the track, I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird, but she's like a different person when she's pushing herself. Last time I noticed her eyes, but this time it's her mouth that catches my attention. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's still smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, like she's fighting a losing battle but doesn't care. She seems to be running harder, like she did yesterday. Sweat started to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth finally opens and she can no longer get enough air through her nose. She passes me once more, legs pumping, arms swinging in time, and her lips slightly parted. She looks beautiful. Damn, okay, here we go. Here's the start of the romance. After we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone.
Not bad today, Isao.
There's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I would have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colors a little, seemingly embarrassed by her outburst.
Sorry about that, I just can't stand to see people give up. Especially about something like this. Saying I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on when you're saying it. That's what this is all about.
What, saying silly things? Emmy sticks her tongue out at me.
Idiot! I mean showing that you're alive.
Showing I'm alive, huh? I didn't know how to be so painful. But it does feel pretty good despite that.
Besides, it's one of the hardest days.
What do you mean?
Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and the third day is easier. You'll still get days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less.
So, this will eventually get really easy, huh?
Yeah, of course. But then you have to increase the difficulty, or you'll never get ahead. You just get complacent, and you'll lose the sense of accomplishment.
So I'll have to run more than just 4 laps, huh?
Yep, but not for a while. You have to be careful, you know.
It gets easier, but you have to do it every day. That's the hard part. But it does get easier. A thought strikes Emmy, and her face lights up.
Got it!
Got what?
You can come with me to see the nurse. That way she won't fall over dead or anything.
How charming. When?
Right now, of course. You need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then.
Grabbing my hand, she's off, pulling me along with her. My goodness, but you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Emmy? I have no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You've got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I can hear you coming a mile away. Somehow, it doesn't seem like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It seems like this is a sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse.
I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again.
The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly, it seems that he notices me. Ah, hello, Isao. What brings you here? Well,
Isao's officially joined me in my morning runs.
I start to explain, but Emmy cuts me off.
I thought he might need to visit you so he doesn't die or anything.
The nurse raises his eyebrows in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of a job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Isao, let's have a look at you. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that Emmy's in the room with me and blush in spite of myself. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, are we? Makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy. I tried to get you a free show, but it's worked. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. Emmy bows to me apologetically.
I'll wait outside, okay, Sal?
I begin to stammer that it's not really a big deal, she doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door, and the nurse is laughing as he watches her go.
Still got it.
I don't follow. He laughs again, like he's in on some joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. That sounds incredibly sinister to me, and it seems as if the nurse realizes that too.
That sounded a lot worse than it actually is, come to think of it.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
No, you're right.
I should fill you in so you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here, you see. I got hired in the same year Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her incident. Hold on, what? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. Nearly killed her and succeeded. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Well, that's not my place to say. Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while, so we have a slightly more familiar relationship than is strictly professional. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I had been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs, and that was one of the scenarios I thought of. There were only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts, it's still a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Isao. I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? I didn't see her learning to walk. She'd go for so much longer than the others in the hospital. She refused to quit. Normally it takes years to get to a point where you can even think about running again. Emmy did it all in about a year. He almost seems proud of her, like a father watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she probably would have done it faster if not for the fact that we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? She'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding where they met her prosthetics. It's a real concern. That's why she comes by every day after she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection if her legs get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough about that. If we don't get you on your way soon, Emmy will think we're up to something. As he says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold. You really should have heated up or something before you used it. After a few moments, he leans back, satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Isao. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? No, not really. I had some trouble catching my breath, though. And my heart was racing by the end, too. The nurse frowns as I say this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape. If you don't improve, you should let me know, okay? Don't push yourself too much. Of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? Put my shirt back on, the nurse leans out the doorway to call in Emmy.
What took you so long? I'm gonna be late.
The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing Isao, that's all.
What? Come on, let me talk about seducing my friends.
I'd expected Emmy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. Meanwhile, I try hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I'll try not to do it again, though I fear young Isao may be lost to the female gender forever. Not freaking likely. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regard me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. Told you he was funny, didn't I? Huh, I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Isao, you should probably get moving. You still need a shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point. It looks like I've only got half an hour. Thanks for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. As I head down the hallway, I can just barely hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you've got to be more careful. I make it back to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for 4 hours and class hasn't even started yet. This is going to be a really, really long day. I really hope I don't fall asleep in class. Okay, I'm glad we're getting some more of the nurse now. Because, you know, he's a funny guy. I enjoy him. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of Katawa Shoujo. And now we finally know what route we're on. I hope you're all happy with the decision we're doing, because we are doing Emmy's route next. And so far, she's delightful. Honestly. It's really fun. She's a bit more, what's the word? You know how Lily was, like, you know, refined, I guess? She, like, you know, Emmy said sex, like, in Act 2. She just said the word, you know? She's a lot more, I don't want to say crude. You know, I want to say more, she's more tomboyish. There we go, whatever. I really like that. I really, really like that. But, yeah, having a lot of fun so far in this new route and new thing we're doing, basically. So yeah, thanks for watching this episode of Katawa Shoujo, and I'll see you next time where, I guess we'll go running again. I'll see you then. Peace.